Welcome to Simply Explained English. I am Lisa.
And I'm Eric. Do you want to improve your English easily? If so, you're in the right place.
So let's get started and make English easy. So Eric, what are the words today?
The first word today is generous. Then we will continue with tight-fisted and to deceive, then to chip in, and the final one is same old, same old.
Okay, let's start with the first word.
The first word is generous.
Generous.
Generous. Generous is an adjective. It means someone who likes to give, help, or share with other people, especially with money, time, or things.
Exactly. For example, if someone gives you a lot of time, money, or help, you can say they are generous. Now, let's look at an example sentence.
The first example is, my friend is very generous. She always shares her lunch with her friends.
What does it mean, Eric?
It means that the friend often gives her friends lunch without keeping it all for herself. She likes to share and doesn't worry about losing something for herself.
Here's another example. She made a generous donation to the school. This means that she gave a large amount of money to help the school. She gave more than people expected.
Good job. Now, here's something important to remember. The word generous is used with the preposition to or with based on the case. When you are generous and giving to someone, you use the word to after generous. For example, generous to his neighbors or generous to his friends. Generous is sometimes followed by with when talking about something that is given. For example, generous with money or generous with their time.
It's a good point about grammar, Eric. Let's listen to a short conversation using generous.
Did you hear about Susan's birthday party?
Yes, I did. She was so generous to everyone.
I know. She gave everyone a gift bag with a lot of nice things inside. That was very generous of her.
She's always generous with her time and her gifts. Everyone had a great time at her party.
So, in this dialogue, we used the word generous twice. Susan gave a lot of nice things to her friends, and she also gave her time. That's why we say she is generous.
As you can see, generous means having a desire to give or help.
That's right. Now, let's talk a bit more about this word. Do you think generous is a formal word, Eric?
I think it can be used in both formal and informal situations. You can say it in everyday conversations, but it's also okay to use it in a more serious or formal setting, like at work.
I agree. It's a simple word and you can use it often. Do you think people like being called generous?
Oh yes, being called generous is a positive trait. It means people think you are kind and like to help others.
Yes, it's always a positive word. It makes people feel appreciated. Okay, well, that's it for today's word, generous. We hope you all learned something new. Let's move on to our next word.
The next word is tight-fisted.
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 It means someone who doesn't like to spend money. They try to keep as much money as possible and don't want to give it away, even when they should.
Exactly. Now, I'll give the first example. My uncle is so tight-fisted that he never buys new clothes. It means my uncle doesn't like spending money, even on necessary things like clothes.
Here's another example. She's too tight-fisted to give money to charity. This means that she doesn't want to donate money, even though giving to charity is a good thing.
The word comes from the idea of someone holding their money tightly in their hand, not wanting to let go of it. It's often followed by words like with, as in tight-fisted with money.
Now let's do a short role play using the word tight-fisted.
Did you hear about Alex? He wouldn't pay for the group dinner last night.
Really? He's always so tight-fisted. He earns more than all of us.
I know. He's always been tight-fisted with his money. It's frustrating.
So, in this dialogue, we used tight-fisted twice. Alex doesn't like to spend his money, even when it's a group dinner, and people find that frustrating.
Yes, calling someone tight-fisted is usually negative because it suggests they don't want to share or be generous.
Now, let's talk about the word. Eric, do you think tight-fisted is common?
Well, it's not super common, but people do use it, especially when talking about someone who is being very cheap. It's informal though, so you won't hear it in professional or formal settings.
Yes, that's true. It's more common in casual conversations, when you're complaining about someone who doesn't like to spend money.
Exactly. People still use it when they want to talk about someone too careful with their money.
So if you want to describe someone who doesn't like to spend money, especially in a casual way, you can say, they are tight-fisted.
That's right. We hope this explanation helps our followers understand the word better.
I hope so, Eric. Let's move on to the next word.
The next word is to deceive.
To deceive.
To deceive. To deceive means to make someone believe something that is not true.
When we say someone deceives another person, we mean they lie or trick them in some way.
Exactly. Let me give an example sentence. The salesman deceived the customer about the car's condition.
It means that the salesman lied to the customer about how good the car was.
Good explanation. Now it's your turn, Lisa. Can you give us another example?
Sure, here's another example. She deceived her parents by saying she was studying when she was actually watching TV. It means that she tricked her parents by lying about what she was really doing.
Let's talk a little more about how to use deceive. It's a verb, and it's often followed by a person, like deceive someone. And remember, deceive is usually negative because it means lying or tricking someone.
Yes, and we can also use the noun form, which is deception. For example, her deception hurt many people. This means the lie or trick caused harm.
Now, let's move on to a short dialogue to show how deceive can be used in a conversation.
Can you believe that? He deceived everyone at the party?
I know. He told us he was a famous actor, but it was all a lie. He really deceived us.
I feel so fooled. Why would someone do that?
That was a good example, Lisa. It shows how we use deceive to talk about lying or tricking someone.
Yes, and it also shows that being deceived can hurt people's feelings. So, Eric, do you think deceive is a common word in English?
It's not super common in everyday conversations, but you'll hear it in more serious situations, like in the news, books, or when people are talking about someone being dishonest. It's a bit more formal than just saying someone lied.
I agree. It's a useful word when you want to talk about something more serious than just a small lie. Deceive sounds stronger and more formal, so it's good to use when the lie is big or important.
Exactly. So remember, when someone makes another person believe something false, you can say they deceived them.
Okay, well, I think we explained deceive pretty well. Let's move on to the next word.
Okay, the next word is to chip in.
To chip in.
To chip in. Chip in is a phrasal verb, and it means to give some money when several people are giving money for something together.
Yes, to chip in is often used when a group of people share the cost of something or help together. It can also be about helping by doing something, not just with money.
Exactly. Let's break it down with some examples. Here's my example. We all chipped in to buy a birthday gift for our friend. It means that each person in the group gave some money to buy a present together. Everyone contributed a little bit to help pay for the gift, so we say they chipped in.
That's a great example. Here's mine. If everyone chips in, we can finish cleaning the house faster. This means that if everyone helps by doing a small part, the job will get done more quickly. So, chip in doesn't always have to be about money. It can also mean helping with effort or time.
Perfect. So, to chip in is all about sharing the work or cost so that the job gets done or something can be bought.
Now, let's hear a short dialogue to show how chip in is used in conversation.
The party's going to be awesome, but we need more drinks. Can you guys chip in?
Sure, I'll chip in $10.
I can chip in by picking up some snacks on my way.
Thanks. That'll make things easier for everyone.
In this dialogue, Tom offers to contribute money, and Anna offers to help by bringing snacks.
Right. So, they're both chipping in different ways, one with money and the other with snacks. It's all about helping in some way to make things easier.
So, Eric, would you say to chip in is a common phrase?
Yes, it's very common in everyday conversation, especially in informal situations with friends, family, or co-workers. People use it when they're organizing something together, like a party or a gift.
I agree. It's friendly and informal, so you wouldn't really use it in very formal situations, but it's perfect when you're asking for small help from people you know well.
Definitely, and it's a nice way to ask for help without sounding too demanding. It's casual and polite.
I agree. Okay, we will explain the last word of today now. What is the last word today, Eric?
The last word today is same old, same old.
Same old, same old.
Same old, same old. Same old is an idiom. It's used to describe a situation that hasn't changed and might be a bit boring.
That's right. When we say same old, we mean things are just as they always are, with nothing new or exciting.
Let me give an example sentence. How was work today? Oh, same old, same old.
It means that the person's day at work was very normal and nothing special happened.
Good explanation. Now it's your turn, Lisa. Can you give us another example?
Sure. Here's another example. I'm tired of eating at the same restaurant. It's always same old, same old. It means that the person is bored with the restaurant because the food and experience never change.
That's right. Now, let's talk about how to use this phrase. Same old is an informal expression. We often use it as a response to questions about daily activities or routines.
Good point. Now, let's hear a short dialogue using the phrase, same old, same old.
Hey Tom, how's life been treating you lately?
Oh, same old, same old. Work, home, sleep, repeat.
Really? Nothing new or exciting?
Nah, just the same old, same old. A little change would be nice.
That was a nice dialogue. Did you notice how they used same old twice?
Yes, I did. It really shows how we use this phrase to describe routine situations. Lisa, is same old a common expression?
Yes. It's very common in casual conversations, especially when people are talking about their daily lives.
I agree. Is it more formal or informal?
It's definitely informal. We use it with friends and family, but not in formal writing or professional settings.
Good point. Why do you think it's an important idiom for English learners to know?
Well, it's a quick and easy way to describe routine situations. It helps learners express boredom or lack of change in a natural way.
That's right. It's also a good phrase to know when making small talk about daily life.
Exactly. Well, I think we've covered all the words today and reached the end of our podcast today as well.
I hope our followers found today's episode helpful.
I hope so, Eric. Okay, thanks for listening.
Keep studying your English and stay tuned.
Bye for now.